get a little bit aggressive within myself, as in like, we're not getting beat tonight. Like, that's how I'm feeling, but I'm also excited.
Yeah. I wish we were playing. We're this close to the pitch, but not quite on it.
No,
the security next to us might have something to say if we tried to get on there. Right, we should run you through the team news then, and there is news for once. Normally it's like, same as, there is news. Right, so in goal, Aaron Ramsdale continues. Then at the back there is a change. Tomiyasu's in, Gabriel Saliba and Zinchenko complete the back line. Then Jorginho is in for Thomas Partey, which is huge, as you can imagine. Granit Xhaka, Martin Odegaard just in front, and then Saka, Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah complete the 11. So I guess let's start with that massive news then. Thomas Partey is out. A precautionary measure, it would seem, by the club. Got injured in training, muscle strain. It's a big blow for us, but a massive opportunity for Jorginho tonight.
It's bad luck, isn't it? The timing is not great. Thomas Partey is a colossus for us in the heart of that midfield. But if he's not fit, he's not fit. And this is the exact reason that we brought in Jorginho in January, for nights like tonight where he's unavailable. And Jorginho is a very experienced player. He's played in Euros finals, he's played in Champions League finals. He won't be unnerved by the occasion. He'll also, I hope, provide a sort of calming influence out there. Yeah. You know, he is someone that has been involved in these title tussles before. So I think, even though it's a blow, and you can't disguise it, I think that he can bring something to the team as well tonight. He's a good passer. I'm not worried about that. The bit I was worried about was the height. Now, Thomas Partey's a big lad, isn't he? And we got undone when he came off at Everton, didn't we, in that game from the corner. And as soon as I heard the news, I was thinking, I wouldn't mind Tomiyasu in the side, because Tomiyasu is brilliant in the air. And lo and behold, he's in the side. I wonder, did Mikel Arteta make that change after he found out the news about Thomas Partey, or was that always in the pipeline? My hunch is that this is a knock-on effect, and he's thought, actually, I need Tomiyasu's aerial strength in there, and that's the reason he plays. And he'll also he'll potentially look after Jack Grealish, who's a very awkward customer.
Yeah, for sure. What do you say to those people that are a little bit worried about two changes as opposed to one change, though? Do you know what I mean?
What can we do?
It disrupts the team a little bit more.
Any change creates disruption, but it also creates an opportunity, doesn't it, for others to shine? Look, it's very, very unusual what we've seen of the same 11, the same 11, the same 11. That doesn't normally happen. Manchester City make 3 or 4 changes most weeks, and they get away with it. So I'm not concerned by it at all. I'd have liked Thomas Partey to have started the game, but he's not fit. So and I'm very, very happy that we've got Jorginho there as the backup because of the reasons that I've outlined. As for Tomiyasu, for White, I felt that White actually played really, really well against Brentford. He was one of our better players. He got forward more than he had done in recent weeks. So he can count himself unlucky, but I suspect it's slightly tactical. Tomiyasu came in for the Spurs game, for the Liverpool game rather, against Salah, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did a brilliant job. He also came on against Manchester United and shackled Marcus Rashford when White got that yellow card. So he's a big game player that can defend. So for me, both changes are logical.
Are you a little bit worried? Because I'll tell you where I'm at with this, Clarke. The only thing that worries me, because I completely agree with you in terms of, Jorginho he's been there, he's done that, he's worn the t-shirt, and so I'm not worried about that side of things. I'm more worried about, maybe you can shed some light on this as someone who played yourself, the sharpness and being ready. Thomas Partey is in the team week in, week out. Jorginho's not really played. Yeah,
and you can say the same for Tomiyasu. It's going to be a fast-paced game. It's going to be electric, isn't it? You would imagine. First 10 minutes, Jorginho and Tomiyasu are going to be breathing. They're going to be panting. That's what's going to be happening. Yeah, they're all super fit, but if you're not played in these high-level games for a long time, it will affect you. But they're both experienced players. They're both, got good temperaments. I think they'll be absolutely fine. I genuinely do. It's a tough game anyway. Even if we had Partey, even if we had Gabriel Jesus, this would still be a really, really difficult game for us. So let's just accept the fact that we're missing 1 or 2. I still think we've got enough, providing our mentality's right, providing the players play at a real tempo with aggression. I think we can get a really positive result tonight. I think we can win.
Yeah,
I really do.
Are you that confident?
Why wouldn't we be? We're top of the league.
But
we've had 2 very
that's what I mean.
Mediocre.
We've started a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, and that understandably makes all of us feel nervous. And I'm not as confident tonight as I would have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I've been so impressed by the team during the course of this campaign I see no reason why they can't find those standards again.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to be a huge game no matter what happens, and we've got a huge show lined up for everybody today, let me tell you. But Clarke's already alluded to it. Last time out, it wasn't the result we wanted here at the Emirates Stadium against Brentford. We'll touch on what subsequently happened since the game once we get up to the studio, but Clarke's done a breakdown for us for the Brentford game, so let's have a watch of that.
Brentford have been giant slayers this season, beating Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United. They couldn't win against Arsenal, but they did provide us with one of our trickiest tests so far. Here's my analysis of a controversial 1-1 draw. It's a sign of respect that we need to get used to. Following Everton's lead, the Bees set up in a very defensive shape that was designed to slow our attacks down. Let's take a closer look at some examples. Brentford were determined to leave no space between the lines. A back five became a back eight, and because the width of the box was so crowded, we struggled to pick out any holes. Thomas Frank spoke afterwards about his desire to double up on our wingers, and that tactic was evident right from the off. Down the flanks, our wide men were consistently forced inside, held up by hard-working light blue shirts that compressed the space they had to work in. Our passing needed to be super precise or intricate, and unpicking the lock proved to be really difficult. On the plus side, we did find ways to overcome that tactic. Because this switch pass from Partey to Saka has fizz on it, no one can get tight enough to cover White's superbly timed overlap. Look here how Saka passes inside and follows it, taking two players with him. Ødegaard sees White filling that hole, and from the cross, we very nearly score. When we did score, it owed plenty to another excellent run from White, this time of the decoy variety. He takes Henry with him to leave an inviting opportunity for Ødegaard to slide Saka in behind. The weight of pass was perfect, as was the pace of Saka's cross. It had to be firmly struck to reach Trossard, who finished with confidence at the far post. Central defenders William Saliba and Gabriel have immaculately dominated striker after striker this term, but they didn't find it easy to contain Ivan Toney in this clash. The Bees frontman was a handful. Toney won 12 of 14 aerial duels and 17 of 21 duels overall. Outstanding in the air, he helped Brentford gain territory. In this clip, he beats Saliba to the header, and from the flick on, Mbeumo gets in behind for a 1v1. Fortunately, a tight free kick call went our way. Toney gave Thomas Frank's side an out ball. Anytime they were put under pressure, they went long to him, and the 26-year-old showed muscle and fighting qualities in those situations. Keep your eye on Xhaka, pointing to pass on his runner here. With Zinchenko tight to his man, it leaves Gabriel with a 2v1, and from there, Toney's run down the side creates a big chance for Brentford. The cross is superb, and Henry should do better. Defensively, we weren't at our best here. We let the ball bounce. Brentford pick it up, and with White and Saliba both attracted to the ball, and Mbeumo gets free and picks out an unmarked Toney. To their credit, the visitors' attack were impressive. Saka and Martinelli have been so good this season that opponents are now focusing very heavily on stopping them. To combat this, the use of unpredictable movement makes perfect sense, and we caught glimpses of that against Brentford. Saka regularly switched up positions with Ødegaard. Here, Bukayo drags Ben Mee with him, leaving a nice gap for White to slide a pass into Nketiah. This was clever play. Early on, Martinelli frequently ran into central areas. In this clip, he switches play before making a great angled run into the danger zone that catches the visitors off guard. This move is class. A Ramsdale to Zinchenko to Martinelli triangle completely befuddles Brentford. The angles and one-touch pass open up the pitch beautifully for a counter. Sometimes you just need to mix up your runs, and from this unexpected dart into the area from Saka, we almost broke the deadlock. When you're up against a side that chooses to sit everybody behind the ball, it places an onus on the defensive players to push on and join in with the attacks. This heat map reveals plenty. Just look at how often Saliba and Gabriel had possession of the ball deep inside the opposition half. Almost half of their touches came past the halfway line. In awkward tests like this, it's vital that your centre-backs have the confidence and ability to carry the ball and to play progressive forward passes. They are supplementary attackers. When you add in our fullbacks to this heat map, you really do get the picture of how much we needed our back four to deliver quality distribution. The bulk of Wright and Zinchenko's touches were in advanced areas. Another byproduct of territorial dominance is the need to punish sides via the medium of long-range shots. In this encounter, we had plenty of them, but our accuracy was missing. 10 of our 23 attempts on goal came from outside the 18-yard box. That's the second highest tally we've racked up in a match this season, behind Spurs at home, another opponent that sat incredibly deep against us. Our average per game is 5. I won't criticise us for trying our luck from distance because opportunities were there for us to hit shots. However, 5 of the 10 were off target and 3 were blocked. It just wasn't our day. It's been officially acknowledged that Brentford's equalising goal should have been disallowed by VAR's Lee Mason. Let's break down one of the season's most controversial incidents. Let's start with how the free kick was awarded. Who is fouling who? To me, it's obvious that Tony has pinned Saliba with his arms around his back. He should have been penalised. As the free kick is taken, you'll see that Zinchenko is being blocked off from defending Tony, who spins away from Trossard. And Gabriel is also being blocked by a player in an offside position. This is not allowed, and it was a surprise Mason didn't disallow the goal for this. As we roll on the action, we do defend the situation scruffily, with Brentford keeping the ball alive with a number of important headers. Then comes the crucial bit. Norgard is clearly offside from Pinnock's excellent header, but it wasn't checked by Mason, who made a key error in his assessment. Had the offside line been drawn by VAR, this goal would have been chalked off. An apology has been made, but losing 2 precious points is a tough one to swallow. It was a costly mistake. An awkward and resolute Brentford side made it tough for our individuals to shine like we know they can. But in my opinion, skipper Martin Ødegaard still played well. He is my main man. Ødegaard drifted right as a matter of course, and some of his link-up play with Saka was eye-catching. This nutmeg pass to slip him into the area was a clever piece of football. And whenever it was on to release our number 7, he'd usually choose the right type of ball. We saw that with the goal, of course. What a gorgeous, measured left-foot pass he made inside the defender that allowed Saka to curl his cross first time towards a grateful Trossard at the far post. As captain, I felt Ødegaard did his level best to lead by example. This surging run down the right wing lifted the crowd and created another opportunity for Trossard to have a pop. Neat and tidy, always probing, Ødegaard produced another good display here at Emirates Stadium. Make no mistake, it was exasperating to see 2 points slip away courtesy of a mistake by the officials, but we need to look forward now and try to learn lessons from the performance. Defensively, we have to improve the way that we defend longer passes and set plays, while in attack, not enough clear-cut chances were created. More tempo and sharper movement is required.
Yeah, so there we go. Welcome to the studio then. Here, my Arsenal Rewards box. Our lovely studio audience are in with us for what Clarke is the biggest game of the season. But before we talk about Manchester City, got to talk about Brentford.
Yes.
Wasn't necessarily a vintage performance. I know we wanted to bounce back after the Everton game as well. We didn't necessarily get the performance that we wanted. No. But something big has happened since then.
Yeah.
VAR, yet again, we talk about it again.
So look, we didn't play brilliant in the game. A draw probably was a fair reflection of the match, I think, given that Brentford had some good chances. But their goal should have been disallowed. The referee's body has apologised. They've confessed that the VAR official Lee Mason didn't draw the lines. And me and you were watching it, because when the goal happens outside there, I normally run in and get a look at the replay and see what happens. We were sat there and I was like, to you, that guy looks
like
offside. That guy looks offside
Yeah.
to me. And then we never saw a replay of it. We didn't see them checking it. And I was completely baffled by what was going on. But as it turns out, the VAR official was totally baffled as well. Got too hung up on another incident, which I think was enough to disallow the goal, personally, myself anyway.
What about the kind of block?
Yeah, because...
But I did say to you at the time, because on the screen it said checking possible offside rather than checking foul or infringement.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were looking at.
Yeah,
If they weren't
well,
looking
no,
at
if someone is in an offside position blocking a defender from going backwards, that makes them live and active. That makes them offside. But clearly, because the ball goes over his head, he thinks he's not interfering. But for me, it stops Gabriel from getting tight to the man who ends up crossing the ball. So for me, he got it wrong 2 times. And as you've just watched on the breakdown, the free kick should never have been a free kick. Ivan Toney's got his arms around our player, Saliba, and it should never have been a free kick. It should have been a free kick to us instead. So great frustration. But I thought Mikel Arteta's press conference was perfect. Great tone. He basically said he was fuming, and he said, I won't be satisfied unless I get my points back. But we can't make excuses. We've got to move on. Let's just get the 2 points back as quick as we can. There's no point sulking about it.
Of course, I know it's hard to look at it now in isolation, because if you think back to pre-VAR days, there was always decisions that you didn't get and that went against you. But this was meant to solve all of that, and now we're in a title race, about to go into the biggest game of the season, and something like that happens.
It's hugely frustrating. Look, it could. I'm not saying it will. It could play into our favour, couldn't it? Because the referees know that they've let us down. They know they've let us down. There's no secret. Are they going to be more reticent to give decisions against us? Are they going to try and do us a favour here and there? Probably not. But there might be a little part of them subconsciously that maybe we get the rub of the green with a 50-50 decision in maybe tonight, maybe in one of the games to come. Let's wait and see. Maybe that's too much to wish for. Maybe that's being too optimistic, but it could happen. That's the glass half full attitude. Anyway.
Tonight would be a good time to get a scabby penalty, I think.
Oh, definitely. More on that later.
Yeah, we'll take that all day long. Right, we should get our first guest out, I reckon. You know what I mean? He's a singer-songwriter hailing from Nigeria, but also a massive gooner. Let's hear it for Patoranking, everybody. Come in. Good to see you. Just jump in the middle. Good to see you, man.
Hi.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here. Right, first things first.
Yeah.
Is it your first time at the Emirates?
Definitely no, you know.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, been here a couple of times. Been happy a couple of times, and you know, the other way around a couple of times here as well.
You must be happy this season, though. You know, things are going really well for us.
Most definitely.
I've been asking everybody this today, just on the show, but also people that I speak to out there. How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Because this is a huge game.
The energy is high. Nerves. I'm a very religious person, so yeah.
You said a few prayers for us?
Prayer has gone up as well.
Yeah, we need that.
No prayers. Thomas Partey, unfortunately, obviously is a key player for Arsenal. He's missing tonight. It's a real blow, but we can still win without him, can't we?
No, we're definitely gonna win. Yeah, he's with us in spirit. You know, so sad that I got to hear about the news in the car, and I was like, I don't know how to feel, but I was just positive. I kept it positive still.
Yeah. Rumour has it that, you know, you tapped him up a little bit, Thomas Partey, to, you know, get him to sign. You guys mates? You know each other outside of here?
Yeah, he's my guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We link like outside the whole thing. You know, big up TP5. You don't know.
So we got you to thank for him playing in the team.
Yeah,
then,
man.
maybe.
Yeah.
He's been tremendous this season.
Talk to me about this connection that Arsenal has with Nigeria. You know what I mean? Because like we've had Kanu, I know Thomas Partey is obviously Ghanaian, but we've had like Kanu here, Alex Iwobi played here as well. We got a huge following in Nigeria, haven't we?
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say big up, visit Rwanda. I don't know. I think it's way bigger than Nigeria. You know, we got a lot of fans from Nigeria. But Africa, I think is close to 10 million Africans, you know, from the last...
What do you put that down to, though? Why does Arsenal connect so much with the continent of Africa?
I would say, is it a style of play? Because you don't want to watch. I'm sorry to say this, like you just don't want to spend 2 hours on screen on Saturday and you're bored, I'm sorry, for me, because I thought I was gonna be a footballer, and I started following Arsenal from the days of when we had Dreamcast as sponsors.
Yeah. Great kit that was.
And it was just the style of play for me. It was the fact that I enjoy football. I would sit down and watch, and I would go back home or go back to the pitch, and I want to replicate what I saw, for me personally. So it has to be Arsenal, Yeah.
A lot of people feel that way, I think. The people that grew up watching the Arsene Wenger team, playing football that beautiful way, it just fell in love with the team, with the club. What about favourite players? Any player that you've sort of adored down the years wearing the red and white?
It's countless.
Yeah. Who's your
it's
favourite?
countless.
You must have a fave.
It's hard. I end up having fave every 2 weeks. After every game. I love Zinchenko. TP is my guy. Every one of them. In as much as you're on that white and red shirt, trust me, I'm a fan.
Okay. Well, we know you've got to shoot off, but before you go, I wanted to ask you prediction for tonight. What do you think?
3-1.
To us.
Yes.
I like that. Confident,
Confident.
yeah.
COYG, come on, you got it.
Yeah, let's hear it for Patoranking, everybody. Thank you very much. Nice one. Just want to 3-1. I like that confidence.
Great positivity.
Yeah.
That's what we needed. Everyone's feeling a little bit on edge. Everybody's feeling, no Thomas Partey, obviously no Gabriel Jesus. He's going to be, Man City won the last game. There's a lot of sort of negativity beginning to creep into everybody's minds, I think. But the bottom line is, we have been the best team in English football this season. Every team has a little flat spot. I think we've had a couple of average performances. Now's the time for us to, just click back into gear. And I think, look, what better night than this evening?
Yeah.
I think this is the game to play, especially after what happened with the injustice of that Brentford goal. I think they'll be even more fired up today.
Yeah, I'd love to, I say it all the time, Clarke, it's a shame All or Nothing's not this season, because I'd love to see what's going on in the dressing room, how Arteta's firing him after that. There was a little pass the parcel of the mic there. It's managed to come all the way down to the end. I want to get the feeling of the guys in the studio, so, who wants to jump on? Have we got, what's your name, sir?
Joel.
Right, Joel, good to see you. Right, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling optimistic, to be fair. I feel like the boys are going to go out there, do the business. Although with Party isn't in the team, we've got the likes of Jorginho. You know what I'm saying? He's still a quality player, proven European winner, Champions League winner. So we could do the business.
What sort of approach do you think we should take here? Because I think we should really get in their face. I don't know if anyone was here for the game against City last year, where we were really unlucky, weren't we, to lose the game 2-1. But we were really aggressive and hostile, and we got in their faces. I don't think City like it when you do that. It comes with risk, but I think that risk is worth taking tonight, personally. What about you?
High risk, high reward. That's what I say. Do you know what I mean? Last season at the Emirates, we came close. Decisions didn't go our way, but I feel like that high intensity, high tempo would do the business today. And we're not a sitting off type of team. That's not how we play. So
not anymore. Yeah.
No, it's true.
We play different now,
yeah,
don't
look, the early stages of Mikel Arteta's reign, we go into a game like this, have 20% of the ball, sit back. Ødegaard would get, well, not even Ødegaard wouldn't have played, but our forward players would get 10, 20 touches, and we'd just hope for the odd counter here and there. And occasionally it worked, often it didn't. I think we're in a far different place. It's just such a different place now. We can, with confidence, go out and go toe-to-toe with the best teams. And I think Arteta will relish that tonight. I don't think he'll back away from the challenge. Be really surprised if we do.
I think there's also that element of, and he probably hates it as well, but that element of, the master versus the apprentice.
Oh,
he wants to put all that to bed, doesn't he? He will want to get one over on Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, look, we'll get to the head-to-head. It's not great, is it? So it's about time that we put one over Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. And look, tonight everything seems to have gone against us in the build-up to the game with the weekend, with the injury. Obviously, Manchester City, Erling Haaland is fit for them. So everything
surprise, by the way.
It was always going to happen. I think he just had a little bit of a dead leg. He was absolutely fine. But it feels like the momentum has gone Manchester City's way. from pre-kick-off Brentford. But that should stoke the fire within us. And I think that Mikel is very good at that, tapping in to what the players need. And I'm expecting us to come out flying out of those blocks this evening.
We should have a look at the number, I think.
Yeah, let's do it.
For tonight. So let's have a look at what our number is. The number 10, Clarke here. So it's not a good one.
Look, but I want to start on it, just to frame it. You know, but this is the gaming contest. We have lost our last 10 against Manchester City in the Premier League. It's our worst run against a specific opponent. But tonight is the night, isn't it? So these runs don't last forever. And I feel that during that run of 5 seasons, we've had a team that cost probably a quarter of Manchester City's. We weren't anywhere near as strong as them. We weren't operating at the same table as Manchester City. So it would have been a shock to win any of those games. Tonight, for me, it wouldn't be a shock for Arsenal to win. I think we're as good as Manchester City this season, if not better. So this is our moment, and this is the time to end that run and make sure that it ends at 10 and we start afresh.
Yeah, is it the kind of thing that, you used to play, Clarke? Yeah. So is it the kind of thing that players think about and talk about in training, when they're having their lunch or whatever? Did the players talk about things like that?
Not really, no, because you're always in the moment, I think, with football, and you sort of have to, you don't worry about historical figures and stats from the past that much, but there are teams that are bogey teams that you always end up losing to, and every time you go into the next game against them, you're like, come on, today is the day. But there's that little block sometimes where you feel like it might not be your day because it hasn't been your day against them before. This is a new team. It's a young team, really hungry. Not too many have been scarred by heavy defeats of the past. I think the last few times we've played City, they've been close games, closer defeats. So I don't think there'll be an inferiority complex. I really don't.
Yeah. If anyone in here wants to jump in, just feel free, grab the mic. What was your name?
Dre.
Go on, Dre.
I believe that we shouldn't be afraid of City today. I believe that we should have every bit of confidence going into the game today. We're the league leaders. We're there for a reason. Obviously, Partey not being in the squad is the reason why Jorginho was signed. So we should be very, 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 optimistic and happy going into this game. And I don't see any flaws in the squad. Obviously, the new signings are coming in, and they are there for a reason, and I believe that they can come into the squad and gel well. Obviously, Ben White's not playing as well. Tomiyasu can cover both flanks, and he knows the job, and he knows how to do the job very well, as we've seen before.
So, in essence, you're quite confident.
I don't know a word more than confident I am.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm loving it. I mean,
well,
we've got to be positive. I just think, let's be confident, attack the game, and we might win, and it'd be amazing. We might get beaten. It doesn't mean that we're not going to win the league, but if we are going to get beaten, let's get beaten trying to win. Yeah. Really going out on the front foot and trying to score goals. Because for me, Manchester City, as great as they are, if you can get at their defence, I think that they are susceptible. And Ederson is not having a good season in goal. So I think if we can pepper that goal tonight, I think, like we forced mistakes out of Lloris, some of the opposition keepers that have come here this season, Emi Martinez, we can force mistakes out of Ederson tonight. We've got to keep him nice and busy.
Yeah. And I think we will, because as it was already alluded to in here, we're not a team that sits back anymore.
No, but we didn't create much at City, did we, in the FA Cup? And it was a very different team, but we didn't create a lot. Not clear-cut opportunities. So City are capable of keeping you at arm's length. They've got that experience to kill the game. They're used to these big nights. They'll try and control it. Rodri will be the hub of it all, De Bruyne, etc. But we've got to rough them up. That's how we're going to get into the final third. Be super positive, power, pace, just attitude, forward. And then I think we can force errors. I really do.
I think subconsciously that game, even if the players wouldn't admit it and Mikel Arteta wouldn't admit it, that FA Cup game is probably viewed at differently to this one. This is absolutely huge. So much so that, there's a light show before kick-off tonight. Fans have got kind of like drink stills on the go. They're building an atmosphere here today, and I'm expecting it to be electric out there.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it? Yeah, a little light show. I'm sure the fans are going to be really loud tonight. We're going to be quite loud. Even when we're on the posh bit, on the posh level, we can still cheer.
Yeah, once you get out there, guys, don't worry.
Oh, we've had some right wrongers in this season. Yeah, so don't worry about
we're right above the Ashburton Army here as well, so the atmosphere is always good.
Yeah, like City, it's not vociferous away support, is it, Manchester City? For them, there's a lot of pressure on them tonight because they will feel they kind of have to win. just to sort of bring us. Well, it's a great incentive for them to win because they leapfrog us, but there's more pressure on them maybe tonight than us. But yeah, we can just have a free shot at it. Let's just have fun. That's my take anyway.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Emirates era. You know, we've spoke about it in recent weeks with regards to the banners going up around the stadium. It's starting to feel, you know, like the Emirates is coming into its own at the moment. But in the grand scheme of things, since we've been here, would you say this is possibly one of our biggest games here ever?
I think it's the biggest. It feels like the biggest. I can't think of any bigger. We've had some big Champions League nights. Probably didn't go our way. We were involved, I suppose, in title tussles in the early part of the Emirates era, but this feels the biggest. The only one I can really compare it to in recent times is the Leicester season when Leicester won the title, and I was commentating on the game. Oh, this is the game. I was on co-coms for this, and it was some moment, wasn't it, with Danny Welbeck coming up with that late winner, and the place just went absolutely bonkers, and it was great noise. And at this point, as everyone's celebrating with Danny, we're going to win the league. That's the feeling. It's like Leicester. There's no way Leicester are going to win the league. It's our year. It wasn't to be, but that felt like a real biggie, and you can see what it meant to the fans. That guy gets everywhere. He's always on it, isn't he? I think he'd probably be there tonight in the same seat, won't he? But that was a great day. Obviously, it didn't end well that season for us, although we nicked second in the end, didn't we? But it had a big match feeling. But tonight, under the lights, it's the defending champions. It's Erling Haaland, 25 goals. You know, an absolute machine up top. Yeah. It feels bigger. It feels like a proper heavyweight clash. It reminds me of the days at Highbury when Arsenal would go toe-to-toe with Man United. And those games were just glorious, weren't they? They were horrible half the time, weren't they? They're like kicking lumps out of each other, both teams back then, but they had that edge, and I think tonight will have an edge as well. I hope so anyway, because it's a match that deserves to have that.
Sure. Do the players have to be careful not to be overwhelmed or, you know, let the occasion get to them in any way? You know?
Yeah, I think we've got to box clever tonight, don't we? I mean, it's one of those where you want fire in your belly. You want to be like at boiling point. You want to be playing at the fastest tempo possible. You want to be bright, you want to be alive, but you've also got to stay calm in certain moments, haven't you? You've got to stay ice cool, and you've got to know when to make the right decisions at the right time, particularly in both boxes. Attacking, be calm on the finish. Defending, don't do anything silly. Because I tell you what, Manchester City are brilliant at the dark arts, and I'm not going to hammer them for that, but they are outstanding. You saw it at the last game. Jack Grealish sticks his leg out like that, draws the foul. It happens. This was the last time. Look, Granit Xhaka, what can he do? Really?
That was infuriating.
What can Granit Xhaka do? But it's given, isn't it?
It was soft.
It's given, yeah. And they're very look on VAR. They haven't had a look. For me, it wasn't enough to give a penalty. Look at that. Bernardo runs into.
He goes down like 10 hours after the initial.
Bernardo jumps into him.
Look at that.
And then he grabs his shirt, and it's done. But little things like that can make a big difference. I'll tell you. Do you know how many penalties Manchester City have had this season?
Go on.
5.
Okay.
How many have we had?
1. Yeah.
Look, it's little things like that that can make the difference. I'm not saying we cheat. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, let's be sensible. Obviously, we had a red card in that game as well with Gabriel. Obviously, 2 yellows. The second, well, both were really soft. We must not make fouls inside our own box tonight, just no matter what, because City will go down and they'll get those decisions. I would like us to get a cheap one, wouldn't you? I mean, Gabriel did in the big game against Liverpool earlier this season. It was Liverpool, wasn't it, where we got our penalty?
Saka, yeah.
And I just think a little bit more of that, a little bit more sort of dark arts about us will be good.
Do you think there's a particular player that Pep Guardiola and Manchester City will target in terms of like trying to draw fouls out of them? Granit Xhaka's normally been that guy.
Yeah,
but I think he plays different now. It'll be
Saliba or Gabriel. Gabriel maybe, because Gabriel's so aggressive. He wants to be physical. Yeah, they will. I mean, the message. I mean, managers don't go on about it. They don't go dive in the box. It's not part of the team talk. But everyone knows. Look, if you get touched in the box, hit the deck. And we've got to be extra careful. I don't think there's enough of that in our team. Hopefully tonight we can just be a little bit more cynical than usual, and it might just give us the edge that we need.
Do you think tonight's game is the type of game that might be won on a decision like that? Just before we get our next guest on.
It could be. That's the thing.
A penalty or a free kick.
It could. I hope not. I hope it's an end-to-end thriller where we get loads of goals. Hopefully, loads for Arsenal. We absolutely destroy them. But my gut instinct says that both teams are going to score tonight, and that hopefully we'll come out on the right side of it. But yeah, I think it'll be much more attacking than the cup tie that we saw recently.
Yeah. Right. Should we get another guest on?
Defo.
All right. Let's do it. Is it both or is it one? Here we go. Okay. Right. Well, let's welcome then singer-songwriter Mabel's here, everybody. In you come. Lovely to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Look, she's got the black kit on and everything. Look at that, fully decked out. Welcome along.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
It's a pleasure. First question, obvious question. I've been asking everyone this first. How are you feeling? Because this is a huge game. Man.
I feel sick.
Yeah, same.
I feel really sick. I've been chatting a lot of smoke to City supporters
Good.
for the last 6 months.
Don't stop doing that, though.
No.
Right.
I'm still feeling confident, but it's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the day. The day is here.
Like, we were just talking just before you came on. Like, we were saying this is probably the biggest game we've ever had at Emirates Stadium. You know,
1000%.
Like, it's massive, and there's so much on the line.
There really is.
Right, talk to me then about your Arsenal. Sorry.
I just went into like a complete pit of despair there.
Let's talk about something. Let's talk about something a bit more light then.
Positive.
Yeah.
So why are you a Gooner?
Exactly.
How did it start?
That's where I was going.
So I never picked a team. I stayed neutral.
Okay.
My dad supports Chelsea.
Oh, that's a shame for him.
Yeah.
Unlucky. He's not here tonight, is he?
No, he can't come. He can't come and mess with the vibe. My brother also supports Chelsea, but my boyfriend is an Arsenal supporter.
Hey!
Good man.
Is he here tonight?
He is here tonight.
Hey!
Even though politically kind of crazy, his dad played for Tottenham, but he always supported Arsenal.
Wow.
Yes,
Good for him.
crazy. But you know, he picked the right team, and then just was like started watching All or Nothing. And Mikel Arteta, Spanish, I'm born in Spain.
Okay.
And I was just like, love him. And then was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to start going to games. I'm going. And now I'm like fully committed, completely crazy.
It's what's nice about that is, it's proof that, because often sometimes people say like if you haven't supported a club since you were a kid or whatever, but you're like fully invested.
No, 100%.
And I can see how nervous you are about today's game. Means a lot.
Completely invested, like, it's religion now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love it. Don't miss a game.
And it's family, isn't it?
It is.
Arsenal feels like a family this season, for sure. And you're not scarred by the past either,
right.
That's the thing. I'm like, call me a glory hunter, but I'm here. I'm here to
picked the
stay.
right season.
I did pick the right season. I mean, I've only ever seen the Emirates, fantastic vibes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I feel confident about tonight. Because I'm like,
Do you
I
know
know
the
we're going to
songs?
give... Do you know what? I've learnt a few of the songs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Do you harmonise them, or do you just do them like a football lager out like the rest of us?
No. You have to sing it like slightly off pitch.
Yeah.
Like you can't sing. You can't give them Whitney.
You'll be wrong.
I wanted to ask what it was about All or Nothing for you that you really like. What was it Mikel Arteta himself, or what was the thing that attracted you?
It was like how they're a real family. Like, and I love the way that Mikel speaks to the boys, the way he instills the confidence in them, and just watching that group come together. Like, it takes time. I'm a performer. I know how nerve-wracking it can be standing out there, loads of people looking at you. Things go wrong, like how you could take that to heart and it could really get you down. And I just was like, watching him lead that team and how they all came together and watching them have fun was just beautiful.
Being a performer then, have you managed to, because a lot of people in your position get to hang out with footballers every now and then. Have you met any of the boys yet? You made that happen?
I met Odegaard.
Okay.
Yes.
What was that like? What was he like?
He was amazing. I speak Swedish, he speaks Norwegian, so I was like, my way is I'm going to speak Swedish to him.
Okay.
And
of course,
so yeah,
he understood.
he understood.
Okay.
They're kind of close languages, so yeah, we had that moment, and I was just like, you're amazing. Like, what else can you say? Like, I proper fangirled. I just was like, I'm just being awkward.
That's me at all times, to be fair.
And as a performer, you get nerves because it's a big occasion going out performing in front of people. The players tonight will have nerves, have the butterflies. I've just been saying, I want to see the team attack it tonight. Just like not even entertain the thought of losing. Don't fear losing.
1000%.
Don't fear it going wrong. Positive mentality, attack the game. Is that how you would? Is that the team talk
1000%.
you'd give if you were in there?
Yeah, and I think we're at home tonight, and I was literally just saying, like, when you have a crowd that's cheering you on and you know that there are people out there that are really rooting for you, it makes the performance, right? And so I feel that if we can give it our all as crowd, then I believe that the boys can do it for us.
We've got a responsibility as well. Haven't
We have got a responsibility.
Yeah, I hope we're going to hear you singing and chanting like crazy
You
out
will.
there.
I get very, very intense with it.
Good.
You'll hear
good.
me. You will hear me.
Just never lose that. Right, just before we sub you out for our next guest.
I'm ready.
I've got one last question for you. I know you've been busy. You've been working with the Sidemen lately.
I have.
KSI's got a box not too far from where we are here. And you were in the studio on Valentine's Day. What's going on? You working on new stuff?
Yeah, so working on new music. Yeah, I was just in with the Sidemen doing some hilarious stuff. I think that's dropping soon this week, and new music is coming. I'm really excited.
All right, everybody, see it for Mabel. Let's do the sub. Amelia Dimoldenberg, chicken shop date. Get in here. Fashionably late.
I've actually been waiting there for quite a while.
Oh, right.
No, I am fashionably late, yes, thank you.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
And last time you were in, you were...
I wasn't here.
Yes.
I feel excluded.
You predicted
yes.
the exact score, didn't
I
you?
did, because I'm a genius.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I did predict it, so I'm thinking I'm going to predict it today.
Okay,
as
go
well.
on. Come on.
So this was North London Derby.
It was a North London derby. I
You
think
only
it was,
come to the big ones.
yeah,
Wow, look at that.
you know me. I'm just going to the big ones. But I think that the Arsenal's going to win.
Okay.
And I think that it's going to be 2-1.
Okay. All right, so that's a tight game, though. That's like, it's nervy. What order? Who's scoring first? And
I think Arsenal's going to score first,
Yeah.
and then City, and then Arsenal.
It's the most exciting way to win
that's
it.
nervy.
So there you
that
go.
is.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, you've been
Why not? I feel like they're ready.
Yeah.
They're like, the last time they saw City didn't go to plan. But so I think that they're ready.
The
I don't
last
know
few
why I'm doing
times
this,
we've
but
been to City and played City, it hasn't gone to plan. But tonight, it
it's
changes.
The night.
Yeah.
I also met Aaron Ramsdale recently.
Okay.
Talk to me.
And I just think the fact that I met him, I feel like maybe could be a good thing.
Where did you meet? What were you doing? Were you
Oh,
just
the
sitting?
chicken.
I was interviewing him, and it was fab. He's amazing. He's
Yeah.
so much taller in real life, but maybe this
He's
is
a goalie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he's a goalkeeper. Huge hands as
Yeah,
well.
also a goalie.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe he was wearing the gloves. Yeah, and can just jump really high. But yeah, it was great. He was great, and I think that now that he's met me, he's probably going to be just saving all the.
Have you met his dad as
the
well?
goals.
Oh,
No,
he's
but
his
I've
own
also
character.
watched the
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing,
Yeah.
and like his family were just incredible.
Yeah, we want his dad on.
Yeah,
More
we're
than Aaron.
trying to get him, but
Okay.
he's like the hardest person to book ever.
Oh,
believe me.
wow, he's a busy guy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
after that, he's just doing PAs all over the place, I imagine. Was Ramsdale on Chicken Shop Date? Or was
No,
it
it was my there's another show I do called Fake News.
Okay.
Yeah, and Aaron Ramsdale's going to be on that, so it's going to be really great.
Okay.
Yeah, we were. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, oh,
that.
you've done it.
I
You've
was
given
gonna
us a
say-
scoop.
No, I was just going to say a word that actually has a swear word involved.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to say
Best
it.
not to say that, I reckon.
But anyway, yeah, we were talking about how he's like does a lizard. He's called the lizard.
Okay, probably because he's...
No, because he sticks his tongue out
Okay, okay.
when he's concentrating.
Fair.
Anyway, guys, you're in for a treat with that interview.
Yeah, thank you very much for that factoid for us.
Yes, you're welcome.
Question though,
Oh.
it's not a
Sorry,
tough one.
yeah,
Don't
it's a
worry.
go, yes.
Chicken Shop Date. Like, if you could have any Arsenal player on there, who are you picking?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Or is it? Maybe not. I'm going to go with Starboy.
Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka. I actually met him, and I did ask him to come.
What did he say?
And he said he didn't know if he sort of went silent.
So,
But
was it more of a yes than a no?
Yes, I'm taking it as a yes.
silent custard pie?
It was a silent. He was overwhelmed. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he'd be great.
Don't worry,
He'd be amazing.
he's a friend of the show. We'll have a word with him.
Yeah, please.
And see what happens.
I would love that.
Well, listen, enjoy the game tonight, Amelia.
Thank you, I will.
Amelia Dimoldenberg.